I really don't think you need to, but here's a couple ways that you can do it with varying accuracy. First up, something like a smartwatch. I have a smartwatch here. This is going to track my calories burned per day. I'm not going to say it's super accurate, but it will track it to some relative degree. Depending on the brand that you get, it's going to be more or less accurate. I know that a lot of people have issues with the Apple Watch tracking, as that isn't something that is super accurate. However, I can't speak from personal experience. Another one, if you use cardio machines, they do have a calorie tracking on there. However, again, not the most accurate, so we're probably not going to account for that. However, we do have a lot of science to point to the fact that there are research studies that people have gone in and seen the exact amount of calories that you would burn per X amount of time doing a amount of exercise. So you can really just Google like 1 hour walking at what pace would be what amount of calories burned. Now, obviously this changes based on your height, weight, etc., but you can get a fairly accurate guesstimation as to how much you would burn, let's say walking at 5 miles an hour for 30 minutes, and it would spit out a number. That's going to be likely the most accurate way, but if you're thinking more calories burned through just like walking, moving, etc., it's really hard to pinpoint an exact number. And so for that, you would just have to kind of guesstimate. But yeah, if you really want to hammer out these ways, you can use the watch, you can use the treadmill, you can use the Google search. These are some ways that you could figure it out. Regardless though, just try and focus on eating the amount of calories that you can towards your goals. So if you're trying to put on some size, maybe add a little extra 200, 400 on top of your maintenance. If you're trying to lose some weight, drop 200 to 400 from your maintenance. Hopefully that helps. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comment and follow me for more fitness tips.